What's going on, guys? Matty Guys here from Leads for Locals and the founder of EliteBroker. Today, I want to do a loan broker success masterclass and give you guys a roadmap to success in this business. So if you're a business loan broker, maybe you're just getting started, or you've been in the industry for a little while and you just haven't reached the level that you want, this is definitely going to be a really good video for you. All right, and this is everything that I decided to piece this all together based off of my experience working with hundreds of loan brokers over the past few years, helping and teaching them, marketing and stuff like that. And there are some specific things that I've picked up on that I've noticed that make a huge difference, whether or not someone is successful in this business or not. And obviously, one of the reasons I'm making this too is because I'm still active on the marketing side in this business. EliteBroker, it's doing really well. If you're not familiar with it, I'll have a free demo in the description. I'll also have a free business loan lead generation masterclass as well. So if you want to take your business loan marketing to the next level, definitely check that out. And it basically just gives you all the tools and resources you need to do really well in this business. And we'll talk about that later. Again, you can request the free demo. But I wanted to give you guys kind of a 30,000 foot overview and roadmap for success in this business. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to take a couple of these things and apply them to your business. My goal isn't to, have everything that, I present here to be something new for you. But, if you can get 1, 2, maybe 3 ideas from this, that can make all the difference in the world. Because I think one of the big things that people struggle with in this business is one, they don't have the infrastructure. All right. They're so focused on making money. Somebody told them that they can make a crap load of money in this business, which you absolutely can, and that it's easy. There's 30 million businesses across America. They all need funding, blah, blah, blah. And then, you get into it, for a few weeks, you're like, oh, this is not as easy as I thought. I actually need to run this like a business. Okay. And that's really what I want to break down here is how to run this like a real business. And I've taken different things from the most successful brokers that I've worked with and that I've spoken to, and I've put it together in this masterclass. So I hope this helps you guys. If you find it helpful, a couple of just small things, if you don't mind, hit that like button. It really does help. Maybe share this with a couple of your loan broker friends as well. Drop some comments down below. I always love hearing your guys' feedback. Make sure you check out all the links in the description. Really good additional training for you guys there. And yeah, let's rock and roll. Roadmap for success. All right. I've broken this down into a few bullet points, and we're going to break each one down into detail. Product knowledge. Got to know what you're talking about. You got to know your industry. You got to know the service and the products that you're actually offering, as opposed to just trying to sell something to somebody, right? So knowing the different types of loan products and services and different things that you can offer to the business owner, really important. We're going to talk about building your lender network, because the more you have access to, the better you're going to do. So we'll talk about that. We're talking about Tradelines. I think this is a very overlooked service to sell in your lending business, because it can really help you close a lot more loans, guys. And we'll dive into detail on that. We're going to talk a little bit about credit repair. I think trade lines are more important than credit repair, but I know brokers in this industry that do really well up front with credit repair and then get the loan on the back end. So they've got multiple streams of income in their business because of this. And it helps their clients get qualified for the funding they need. We're going to dive into marketing. This is a huge piece that is often missing in really anybody's business, but I see it particularly in the lending industry. So we're going to talk about like what type of marketing do you need to do? What assets do you need to have in place? Your website, funnels, all that stuff. We're going to talk about lead management CRMs and how that can really help you close, like get more people on the phone so you can close more loans. So that's more like organizing your pipeline. And then we'll talk about community and networking and why that's really, really important. First thing I want to talk about is a little bit of mindset, though, because I experienced this a lot, since I've launched EliteBroker, and you got to make sure this is the right business for you. And I understand that because I've gone through this journey as well. And I don't want to say I regret it, but because I love what I do now, but I often think to myself, like those other things that I was doing, if I stuck with them, like, would I be happy, because of the success that I achieved? Because a lot of the time success in any business is just time, right? Obviously, it's learning skill sets, getting better and better and stuff like that. But sometimes you don't give yourself enough time to be successful in this business. So you want to make sure that this is the right business for you. All right. So to do that, you got to give yourself enough time, guys. Give yourself 6 months in this business. And if after 6 months, you're like, you know what? I've done what I can. I made a little bit of money. It's just not for me. Then move on. All right. But you can't get a really good idea if you want to do something or not, within just a few weeks. I mean, maybe you can with some types of businesses. I don't know, but you really want to give it a shot. All right. Are you going to quit after 2 months? I just think like if that's what you're going to do and you're hopping from one opportunity to another, you're really wasting your time and your money. And instead of doing that, sit down and really really think about what you want to do. Okay. Because it's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money. Lose the commission breath, guys, and really focus on helping people. All right. I know we all want to make money. We want to make as much money as possible. We have certain goals and lifestyles we want to live. I totally get that. I'm the same way. However, when you focus on helping people, actually helping people, providing value, listening to them, trying to find the right solutions specifically for their situation, the money follows, guys. I promise. Because people can smell when you are desperate for money, desperate for a sale a mile away. It's actually not that hard to spot. But when you come at this business from a perspective of being a consultant, I'm here to basically diagnose the situation so that I can prescribe the correct solution for you, right? So you're learning about their business. What are their goals? Okay, based off what you told me, this is what we need to do. And that's what really helps people, guys, is catering the solution to what it is that they need. Okay, so focus on helping people, not just making commission. And I promise the commission will come. Okay, don't be afraid to invest in yourself and your business. The best for me, this still holds true in my life. The best investment you make is in yourself, guys. Getting better and better over time. So don't be afraid to invest resources, money, and time into getting better at certain skill sets, getting the right tools in your business that are going to help you reach more people and, organize your business better and help you grow your business, things like that. Sometimes it does take money to make money. A lot of the times it does, especially in business. I spend, quite a bit of money every month on tools, training, resources, every single month to make sure that I have what I need and I'm getting better and better. So make sure you're investing in yourself. Manage expectations within this business. I think this is really important. I've run into this so many times. Most prospects you run into, I don't care how good your marketing is, most are not going to be qualified right away. Not qualified does not equal crap lead. Now, there are businesses out there and lead providers and stuff that, they charge a lot of money per lead because of the system that they go through, the funnel and the qualifications and stuff like that. You're going to get a lot fewer deals in your pipeline though, right? So I want to manage expectations here because oftentimes I think when brokers, they start doing their marketing and they get people opting into their funnels and providing contact information and booking appointments that, oh man, yeah, tomorrow we're going to submit an application and they're going to be approved for $100,000. Oftentimes when people are reaching out to you for funding, it's because they're not qualified. Otherwise they would just go to the bank or their credit union, right? So they're looking for alternative sources to get the funding that they need. And that's where, and we're going to talk about this, where your lender network and the different types of products and services like Tradelines, credit repair, all that stuff can really make a difference and take a lead, a prospect that, 100 other brokers would not be able to help, but you can because you have the right tools and resources. You have put the time and effort learning the business, becoming the business and actual funding and credit expert. So now you can piece all of these tools and services, products and services together to take somebody that has less than 600 credit score and get them to 650 or 700 and get the funding that they need and continue to grow with them afterwards, right? That's another thing I probably should have pointed out is stop going for a one-time sale. Focus. I'm going to actually put that in here. I want you guys to write this down. Focus on building a clientele. Not making a sale, not closing a deal, building a clientele. Because if you can really help somebody get the funding they need to take their business to the next level, then they're going to want to continue doing business with you. They're likely going to need funding and credit again at some point as they continue to grow. Who do you want them to continue to go to? You. So you might close 2 or 3 deals a year on one client. And if you build a client list of 50, 100, 200 people, which that's not a lot of people, guys, you could build that clientele in a couple of years and that's a 7-figure business right there, guys. So I hope that part helps. I think a lot of times the mindset aspect of this type of business is often overlooked. We tend to focus on all of the money that we can make, which is great. You got to have the right mindset. Otherwise, you're never going to get there. All right. So you need to think about these things. All right. Let's get into the roadmap itself. Let's start with product knowledge. You have to know your craft, guys, so that when you get on the phone with a business owner, you know what to do based on their situation, because you have no idea what they need it for, what they're qualified for, what their credit score is, what their revenue looks like. Maybe they don't even have a business bank account, right? So you need to be the expert and take the information that they provide you and create this plan to get them the funding that they need, right? And that comes down to knowing your craft, knowing the different types of products and services that you can offer. Is equipment financing best for them? Is an MCA best right now? Should we do a trade line? Do we need credit repair? Do we need this? Do we need that? Right? So you got to know your craft, and that comes down to getting the training. I mean, you can pretty much learn anything you need about funding on YouTube. Like if you wanted to learn about equipment financing, you do a Google search or YouTube search, you can get a pretty good idea of what that looks like, or of how that works. I kind of alluded to this earlier. Think of yourself as a consultant, not a broker. You're a funding doctor. Again, just to reiterate, where you are diagnosing the situation so that you can prescribe the correct solution. You're the funding doctor. You're a funding consultant, business consultant in general, whatever. And you're going to take what they give you and put a plan in place to get them to where they want to be based off of that information, right? Based on this, and this, here's what we need. If you want the funding, this is what we got to do. Right. Learn one loan product at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, guys. Give yourself permission to put some time into this, to go through a learning curve. Don't think you have to make $10,000 in your first 30 days or 60 days, or whatever. Think long term. Put in the work now, and those $10,000, $20,000 commissions will come later on down the road when you're doing this business correctly, which is what I'm trying to give you here. Okay. So learn one loan product at a time, master that. I would say it shouldn't take too long for that, because it's pretty set in stone. Like, what are the typical qualifications for this type of loan, and, who is it best for? And just write that stuff out. That's actually something that I'm putting together in EliteBroker right now. We're putting together a product knowledge category in the training area, that gives you like these checklists for each type of product, and gives you the bullet points of how that specific type of loan product works. But either way, just study one loan product at a time. Maybe focus on one a day for the next 2 weeks, for the next 30 days, and then you rotate. All right, and you're gonna be really proficient by the end of 30 days. You're trying to match your client with the best product and offer for their needs and business. I already spoke about that. You are taking what they give you, creating a plan to get them to where they want to be. All right, so that's product knowledge. Let's move on to the lender network. All right, this is really important. The more lenders and loan products you have access to, okay, the more likely you are to close a deal. So that's kind of what I have here. The more lenders and loan products you have access to, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around the bullet points here. The more deals you close. So I'll give you an example. You get a prospect on the phone. They want equipment financing, but you only offer MCAs and maybe term loans. You're just going to throw that lead away because you don't do equipment financing? That's dumb. I mean, at least in my opinion, there's no way to run a business. So trying to sell one particular product, for me, is just it's just not a good way to do this business. You run your business however you want, but if you want to maximize opportunity, you have to be able to offer lots of different loan products. Now, when it comes to the lender network, should you build your own from scratch, or do you join one? I recommend joining one. Here's why. It's going to save you an incredible amount of time versus building it from scratch. Then you have to manage those relationships. Then you have, half a dozen different applications, and then you have to figure out which one should I submit for which lender. Like, it's just, for me, that needs to be sourced to someone else, to a professional, right? That's what makes lender networks really good. Now, you have to do your due diligence. Not every lender is created equally. There are definitely some shady people in this business for sure. So, do your research. We just, at the time of this recording, we just brought on a lender network partner for EliteBroker. You get up to 70% commission. So you will typically make a little bit less when you join a lender network than if you were to build your own lender network from scratch. However, to me, it's worth the less in commission because you're saving so much time. Our lender network, you get access to 150 plus different lenders using one application. And then they take that application, match it with one of their lenders, and they come back with 2, 3, maybe 5 offers for your prospect that you can then go and close all within 48 hours. And there's no cost to that. So for me, joining a lender network is going to save you so much time. You get the application processing, you still make really good commission, and you're saving an immense amount of time managing all of your lenders and applications. So, there's lots out there. Do your research, find one that resonates with you, pays decent, and get that up and running. And maybe have a couple of lender networks that you use. That way you don't have all your eggs in one basket. All right, so that's the lender network. Let's move on. Tradelines. We actually just added a Tradeline partner to EliteBroker, which I'm really excited about because Tradelines can really move the needle in your lending business. So first off, this adds an additional revenue stream to your lending business. So the way that we have it set up anyways, you can, I'm sure there's Tradeline partner affiliate programs out there that you can find, whatever. But the way that our partner does it is when you join EliteBroker, you're basically wholesaling they're wholesaling, but you're retailing, I guess, their trade line. So you can charge whatever you want. So if they charge $500 for a trade line, you can charge $750 or $1,000, whatever you think you can get, you can charge it for. At the end of the day, it's absolutely worth it for the prospect because if you're not familiar with trade lines, basically they're becoming an authorized user on these different credit cards that, they've been opened for a long time. So they have good history, age, right? Good credit limits. Okay. This comes down to understanding credit, which we do some training on that, like Tradeline specifically in EliteBroker. But this adds additional revenue to your business. And the power of that is you're not trying to make a ton of money on Tradelines. What you're trying to do is get your prospect qualified for the funding that they need. So if their credit is not allowing them to get funding, a trade line can reverse that very quickly. I mean, we're talking sometimes a week, a few days. It depends on the reporting date for the trade line, so it's getting your prospects qualified so that you're going to close more loans. But the other benefit of this is that when you make money on the trade line, that is now covering the cost of all your marketing, your tools, resources, whatever it is that you're paying for every month. That making $200 or $300 on a trade line might not seem like a lot, and it's not. But at that point, if you can cover all of your marketing costs, you're basically in business for free. You're building a pipeline of really large commissions for free. Basically, the trade lines are covering the cost of all of that. And that right there, if you can get to that point, you can scale it to the moon because, like I said, you're in business for free. It's so powerful. But at the end of the day, it's going to help you close more loans. It positions you as the expert because, and it separates you from most other loan brokers because you've actually taken the time to find a tool that can help the person get the funding they need instead of just saying, oh, you're not qualified. Sorry, I can't help you. Right? So it definitely positions you as the expert because a lot of loan brokers don't do this stuff. So definitely get some type of trade line service into your lending business, guys. It makes a huge difference. I'll just touch on credit repair a little bit because, again, I think the trade lines is the most powerful thing. However, credit repair can add even more revenue to your business because it's more of a longer term subscription type of service where you're helping them build their credit over time instead of just to get the funding. But it is a really good add-on for trade lines because once you've sold the trade line, they're most likely going to want to keep growing their credit, especially now that they have the funding and they have the money to invest in something like credit repair, because trade lines eventually fall off their credit. So you can be the person that continues improving their credit, and that's additional revenue for your business. So definitely consider adding some type of credit repair service to your business. Marketing. This is where, my expertise in the business starts to come in, because that's the side of the business that I focus on. And you got to ask yourself, how are you guys going to generate leads? Because you can be an amazing loan broker and have all this product knowledge and all these great lenders and tools and network and services and all that stuff. But if nobody knows you exist, what's the point, right? You got nobody to talk to. Got to get people in your pipeline. That's where your marketing strategy comes in play. So you want to start thinking, how am I going to generate leads? Okay. The bigger your pipeline, the more loans you'll close. And this sort of goes back to what I was saying earlier about where when people are not qualified, does not mean they're a crap lead. Okay. They're still interested. They want to work with you. They want to get funding, but you need to work with them to get there. The more of that, those types of situations you can have in your pipeline, the more loans are going to close, right? Think about it. Someone who has 10 people in their pipeline versus someone that has 100 people in their pipeline, who do you think is going to do better over time implementing this type of system? Assuming that they're following up and they're working with them and stuff, it's obviously going to be the person with 100 people in their pipeline, right? So you want to grow your pipeline as big as you possibly can. Start with one marketing channel, just like when you're starting with one product, when you're learning your craft. Start with one marketing channel, move on to the next. That's what I recommend. In EliteBroker, we have lots of different lead generation systems that you can implement. Some of them are already pre-made for you. So definitely check that out. But let's go through a couple of different types of marketing. LinkedIn. Man, LinkedIn is awesome. We use a tool. It's called WeConnect. It actually gets around the weekly invite limit that LinkedIn imposed. So instead of 100 per week, you could do maybe 200 per week. I don't recommend going too much more than that, maybe 250. You want to keep your profile safe, obviously. Okay. But LinkedIn allows you to get very, very targeted with your audience. And WeConnect, the tool that we use, will automatically send those connection requests and follow-up messages. And it's basically designed to just get conversations going with your with the list, right? Building those connections, get the conversation going, hopefully getting people on the phone, right? There's a little bit more to it than that, but you can learn more about that in EliteBroker. You can look it up on YouTube. Facebook group prospecting, very similar to LinkedIn. We're just doing it in Facebook groups. We use separate software to automatically connect with group members. This would ideally be in a business owner, some type of business owner group, real estate investor group, dentist group, whatever industry you're going after. You join these groups and you start connecting with those group members, because those are your ideal prospects a lot of the time. So that's another good avenue to do. Database reactivation. Some of you may actually already have a list of business owners that you haven't closed, you haven't spoken to in a little while, and you're sitting on a gold mine. Same thing on LinkedIn. If you have a bunch of LinkedIn connections just kind of sitting there doing nothing, and a lot of them are business owners, you're sitting on a gold mine. And being able to reactivate that list, to basically restart those conversations, is incredibly powerful. I've had brokers crush it with our database reactivation campaigns in their first couple of weeks. Depends on the size and quality of your list and connections, but man, you guys are often sitting on an absolute gold mine with that stuff. So think about, how can you tap into your current list? Can you send an email, a text, a message, whatever, to try and get that conversation going again? Facebook ads, phenomenal way to build a pipeline. We actually give you Facebook ads inside of EliteBroker, but it's like dozens and dozens of pre-made business loan Facebook ads. But Facebook ads are like the system that we use. We generally get leads for really cheap, and they're high intent. They want to speak to somebody. But again, it goes back to when people respond to marketing to get funding, they're often not qualified. That's why you want to have all of this in place. Like I've actually had brokers tell me that have this stuff in place, that they actually prefer the people that are not qualified, because they can make more money on that deal by selling the trade lines, selling the credit repair, and then getting the loans on the back end, right? So Facebook ads, really great way to build a pipeline. It's a little bit more of a learning curve, because Facebook is the ads manager, the ad side is just a pain to deal with in the beginning. If you could just get past the beginning, then it's absolutely worth it regardless. But it can be a really cost effective way to generate your own real time exclusive leads. So definitely consider Facebook ads. Direct mail is something new that we are testing very shortly. I'm so excited to bring this into EliteBroker and do some additional training on this. I think direct mail is, again, one of those things that's often overlooked because everybody wants to do the Facebook ads and TikTok, which actually we're testing TikTok ads as well. They want to do all this other stuff, but they forget direct mail. I mean, everybody checks their mail. So if you can get a really good direct mail piece in front of the right type of business owner with the right offer, you can do really well. YouTube sponsorships. This is, again, something that we're testing right now. And it takes some time because sometimes these YouTube influencers are a little tough to get in touch with, but you can pay one time to do some type of shout out or sponsorship on somebody's video. And, if you get an influencer to do that, that typically gets 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 views on their videos over time. That is exposure that you pay for one time. And, they put your link in their description or on the video, whatever. That can lead to a lot of leads. So we're testing that as well. Just something else for you to explore. Let's talk about the kind of the marketing essentials and the foundation, because all of those strategies are really good, but you got to have a good foundation in place to capture and nurture all the leads coming from your marketing. How do you do that? Well, you need a funnel. Got to have a funnel in your business, guys, that generates intent. It takes people through a few steps. The funnels we use have an opt-in page to request our funding plan. It sends them to a questionnaire page, which we ask some questions to gather information about the person's business. What's your revenue like, credit like, what do you need the funding for, et cetera. And then we give them an opportunity to book an appointment. And that's our funnel, right? Nothing crazy. You don't need anything crazy. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on it. EliteBroker, we give you I think it's 9 or maybe it's 8 because some of them are a little bit different. But anyways, we give you over half a dozen different funnels, depending on the industry and product that you want to focus on. They're already pre-made. So just keep that in mind. All right, but definitely get a lead generation funnel in place. Websites, let's talk about that. You guys, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a website or even weeks building a website. In EliteBroker, we actually don't use the website very much because it's not designed. They're not really good at generating leads. They're good for brand awareness and showing that you're legitimate and professional and stuff like that. But you're typically not going to get a ton of leads from your website unless you set it up correctly. So on your website, you want to have a form that captures information. Don't send people to a really long application right off the bat. Get them into your pipeline, your funnel, right? Where they're providing name, email, and phone number so you can follow up with them over the long run. The other thing that you can do is have a lead generation chat widget. Now, when I say chat widget, typically they'll have a little chat bubble at the bottom or somewhere on the page on their website that asks, hey, says, thanks for visiting. Do you have any questions? Type it out here. For me, the way that we do it in EliteBroker, we actually offer our free funding toolkit or free funding plan or free guide or whatever to convert that traffic into an actual lead and prospect that we can follow up with, we can reach out to. All right. So just basically at every opportunity when you're looking at this stuff and you're putting this stuff together, ask yourself, how can I turn this into a lead generation machine? Right. I want you to ask yourself that whenever you're putting something together for your marketing or for your business, how can I turn this into a lead generation machine that brings me prospects? All right. So keep that in mind. Automated follow-up. This is really important, guys. Not everybody's going to pick up the phone right away. Not everybody's going to fill out an application right away. They're not just because they filled out a form. It doesn't mean that they're sitting there, that they just dropped everything that they're doing so that they could pick up your phone call and submit 6 months of bank statements and send you their driver's license, all this stuff, right? Not everybody's ready right away. So because of that, you need to stay in front of your list, your audience, your prospects for as long as you possibly can. The longer these sequences are, the more likely they are to eventually become a client of yours and eventually book an appointment or whatever. So in EliteBroker, we build all this out. You'll see it in the demo. But at the very least, you want to have a long-term email follow-up sequence so when somebody opts into your funnel, they give you their name, email, and phone number. You are now sending them emails. Maybe start with once a week. Okay, that's pretty standard, and you're just educating them about funding. And every email, maybe at the bottom, like we put a little button that takes them to the next step in the funnel. Book an appointment, request a call, see what you qualify for, etc. And then also adding text messages as well. Text, everybody checks their text messages, right? There's some really cool different ways you can use text messages to get engagement. But at the very least, you just want to be sending text messages every once in a while. Like, hey, just following up, did you still need funding for your business? Or, you want to hop on a call, see what your options are. Just basic stuff. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need, really salesy techniques or anything. Just ask them like, hey, do you still need funding for your business? That's it. Lead management CRM. I'm going to combine this with the marketing section. You got to stay organized with your leads, guys. Like being able to see where everybody's at in the sales process is really powerful, because you can see at a glance, okay, how many people have an appointment booked? How many people have I not reached yet that I need to follow up with again this week? Something like just basic stuff like that can really make a difference in making sure that none of your leads fall through the cracks. All right. You're putting a lot of time, effort, money into building this business, getting your marketing going, putting this foundation in place, etc. Why on earth would you not follow up with your leads? Right? Why would you let them fall through the cracks? So you need to be setting follow-up tasks. Got to have a basic CRM, which we give you an EliteBroker, to manage your pipeline. Okay, I contacted this person today. Let's write some notes here. Let's set a follow-up task for next week to follow up on that application, whatever. Okay, you got to have lead management CRM, guys. You just have to have it. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of your leads, a lot of your deals. Let's move on. We'll start wrapping up here. Community and networking. Get a mentor, guys. I don't care who it is. Find somebody that resonates with you. There's plenty on YouTube, all right? And like for me, like you don't even need to get on the phone with them all the time. Like they don't even need to know you exist necessarily, okay? Just get some people that you resonate with. Maybe they're not even in the loan broker industry. If Grant Cardone resonates with you, Billy Jean, and, Russell Branson, whatever. Find these mentors that are going to help keep you in the game, that are going to share their guidance with you to help you move the needle in your life, to keep you moving forward. Get a mentor. Start, and again, don't be afraid to invest in a mentor. Maybe pay for coaching, maybe pay for a course, training program, whatever. Get that stuff, guys, because there are people in this business right now that are way ahead of you, that have already paved the way. They know what works, what doesn't. It's going to save you a lot of time and money, a lot more money than you would spend investing in that mentor. I guarantee you that. Connect with other brokers and maybe get an accountability partner as well. Because if you kind of if you feel like if you have a group of, 3, 4, 5 brokers that maybe once a month you all get on a Zoom call and just be like, hey, what's going on in your business? Here's what I'm dealing with. What would you do in that scenario, et cetera, et cetera. And now you have this tribe that, supports each other, right? If because everybody has different levels of experience. Maybe if you were to present that to these other brokers, they could tell you, yeah, I actually dealt with that last month and this is what I did and it actually worked, right? It's going to keep you in the game. That's what, for me, this community and networking part is all about. Keeping you in the game. Get an accountability partner that you follow up with maybe once you get on a call once a week, like, hey, this is what I did. These are my goals for next week. And you just hold each other accountable. It's going to keep you in the game in the long run. All right. Join the EliteBroker Facebook group. Actually, that's kind of the next steps here. I think we're almost at like 900 members at the time of this recording in the Facebook group. A lot of loan brokers, right? Start connecting with people in that group and just say, hey, I'm looking for an accountability partner. I want to get, a mastermind together where we meet once a month and just see how we're doing in our loan business, our lending business, et cetera, et cetera. Feel free to connect with people in that group. It's free. It's a free Facebook group. Get my business loan lead generation masterclass. It's going to dive into a lot more detail about how those marketing strategies work. Watch the free demo of EliteBroker. It will absolutely change your lending business. Gives you everything that you need to grow it, your pipeline, get people on the phone, convert leads, etc. We got a lender network. You can sell Tradelines, all that good stuff. And get off your rear end. Stop making excuses about why you don't have the stuff in your life, why you're not where you want to be in life, and make stuff happen, guys. The only way that things are going to change in your life is if you make that happen. And it might take a while. Everybody's journey is different. It took me probably 10, almost 15 years to get to where I wanted to be. Like at the time of this recording, I'm at the point where I've always wanted, well, not always wanted to be, but I'm definitely a lot closer. Like 2022 was an amazing year for my business, but it hasn't been until like the last 18 months where I really started to take off. I was doing okay, a little bit before that, but it took a long time, a lot of development, a lot of mistakes that I made, a lot of just investing in myself, going through my own variation of different struggles, but I never quit. I kept going. That's the key, guys. So, and I didn't make excuses. I was just like, you know what? This stuff is happening. I don't care. I'm just going to keep plowing forward. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep getting better. I'm going to keep testing stuff. And sure enough, man, I'm so glad that I stuck with it because it completely changed my life. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys in this video. I hope that helps. I would love to hear your feedback on this. What was the biggest takeaway for you? Also, of course, if you have any questions, if you want me to dive into anything in more detail, whatever, I would love to hear you guys' feedback about this. Was it helpful, right? So I hope that you'll take at least a couple of these things and implement them into your lending business. I hope to eventually work with you at some point and have you become an EliteBroker member, but up to you. So anyways, guys, hope that helps. Hope you're crushing it. Never quit. Stay in the game. Talk to you soon. Matty Geis is out.